What did you think? Stranger Things Season 4 felt like it revealed all the answers, like the story had finally shown its hand. So, you might want to brace yourself, because in Season 5, we're about to see something that no one could have imagined. I'm talking about Vecna's Untold Truth, a story whose foreshadowing was already planted way back in Volume 1. And yes, as we move forward, I'll be talking about Vecna's origin. So this does contain potential spoilers. Please watch at your own convenience. Now, this is the fullest version of the story that can be told right now. It comes from Stranger Things, The First Shadow, a stage play performed in London with direct involvement from the Duffer Brothers. And interestingly, many elements from this play connect directly back to Volume 1, which means, to a large extent, this story could be canon, or maybe not entirely. Either way, let's break it down one step at a time. What's shown in this play is the true beginning of the entire story. It starts in 1943, at the height of World War II, the US dollar. Government conducted a secret operation known as the Philadelphia Experiment. The idea was simple: make a naval ship disappear so it could pass through enemy territory without being detected. And somehow, they succeeded. A ship named the USS Eldridge vanished, but instead of reappearing in enemy waters, it arrived somewhere else, a place called Dimension X. Before we talk about the Upside Down, there's something important to understand. Dimension X is not the Upside Down. According to existing lore, the first place where we ever see Henry is a yellowish, storm-filled world, alive with strange, demonic organisms. A world deeply connected to the Mind Flayer. That place is Dimension X. The Upside Down is something different, a separate hellscape. In Season 4, when Eleven opens a door and throws Henry through it, the place he reaches, where his body is torn apart by electricity, is known as the Hellscape. So then, where does the Upside Down fit into all this? Here's the twist. The Upside Down didn't originally exist. At first, there were only 3 realities: the normal world, Dimension X, and the Hellscape. The Upside Down came later, possibly created through the actions of Eleven, or Will. And that mystery is one of the reasons Season 5 is so exciting, because we still don't know how the Upside Down was born. Now let's go back to the USS Eldridge. When the ship reaches Dimension X, the crew is attacked by demogorgons. Everyone dies, except one man, the ship's captain, a scientist, and, as it turns out, Dr. Brenner's father. When he returns to the normal world, scientists examine him and discover something horrifying. His blood is no longer human. It has been altered. It contains Mind Flayer particles. Years later, the Creel family moves to Hawkins, Indiana. They're fleeing an incident in Nevada, an accident involving their son, Henry. An accident that left another child severely injured. In Hawkins, Henry isn't immediately shown as a monster. He's quiet, isolated, but clearly gifted. Unlike what we saw in the show, this version of Henry actually enjoys talking to people, connecting, and for the first time he meets someone who truly understands him. Patty Newby, Bob Newby's sister, the two connect instantly. Joyce is organizing a school play, and both Henry and Patty are part of it. But Patty's father is strict, and he doesn't trust Henry. Soon, Henry begins having visions, not unlike Eleven's. By covering his eyes, he can shadow walk, entering a void-like state that allows him to connect with others. At Patty's request, Henry uses his powers to find her biological mother, and during this process, he begins to understand how Demogorgons and the Mind Flayer are connected. But then, everything goes wrong. Patty's father interrupts the process. Henry loses control. Dark vines lash out, injuring Patty's father severely. The incident is labeled an accident, but Henry's mother knows the truth. Something is wrong with her son. So she calls for help, and that's when Dr. Brenner arrives. Brenner takes Henry to Hawkins' lab and begins experimenting on him. Later, we learn something chilling. Brenner's father, the USS Eldridge survivor, had Mind Flayer particles in his blood. Those particles were stolen by a Russian spy and hidden inside a cave in Nevada. Years later, Henry finds that container. He opens it, and the Mind Flayer enters him. Henry spends hours inside Dimension X before returning to our world, changed. This explains his fear of caves and the true source of his powers. Here's the biggest revelation. The Mind Flayer did not come from Vecna. It controlled him, not the other way around. To feed the entity inside him, Henry begins killing animals, growing stronger each time, not out of cruelty, but survival. This story doesn't paint Henry as pure evil. It humanizes him. Even Patty realizes Henry was trying to save people, not hurt them. Dr. Brenner, however, has other plans. He wants Henry to open portals to Dimension X. He manipulates him, breaks him emotionally, pushes him to kill. Under Mind Flayer control, Henry kills his mother and his sister. His father takes the blame. Patty tries to help Henry escape, but Brenner forces a choice: love or power. Henry pushes Patty off the stage. She survives, but Henry doesn't recover. Something inside him finally shatters. He surrenders completely to the Mind Flayer. Brenner keeps Henry alive. He suppresses his powers, uses his blood, and creates other children like him, including 11. Everything we see later in Stranger Things connects back to this moment. Henry, Vecna, the Mind Flayer, Dimension X, the Upside Down. All part of the same loop. My theory? Vecna didn't create the Upside Down to invade our world. He created it as a prison, a cage within a cage, a place to escape the Mind Flayer. But this story still contradicts parts of Season 4, which means one thing: we don't know the full truth yet. Season 5 may finally reveal what really happened, and maybe, for the first time, we'll see the human side of Henry Creel. That's the story I wanted to tell you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd love to know what you think.